Big number 4, usage in development. Local development deployment. Number 1, ensure your Web3 wallet is on the Hardhat network or choose Add Network and enter the well-documented Hardhat RPC info. You should be seeing that now. Okay, so at least in Metamask, I'm going to use that as my example. We're looking in the upper left. So let's say if I had been on the Ethereum mainnet, let's say, there's the Ethereum mainnet, I might need to come down and toggle show test networks. See the toggle there? But let's say we still don't see it. See Sepolia there. Well, you can notice up here, I've added Hardhat later with this information that you see on your screen simply by pushing add a custom network. Okay, and then enter this stuff in. And next thing you know, you've got Hardhat network, and I'm going to just go back on that. See the H? I know I'm on the Hardhat network. And so step 1 is complete. Pause as you need to, and let's rejoin at step 2. Big number 4, usage in development. Number 2, start local Hardhat node. Now when we do this, we're going to create something that is essentially has the functionality of a real Ethereum node. Okay, in my case, I stepped away for a minute, so I need to CD into my project again. If you don't need to, no problem, but double check that you've got your project name and then that percentage sign. And then we're going to type npx hardhat node, or copy and paste it, okay? And press enter together. So it's just pretty incredible, actually, that we have 20 accounts here, zero-based accounting, so it starts with 0, okay? That's going to be our deployer account. In any Hardhat framework, account 0 is going to be the deployer and seen as the essentially the spokesperson account for that node, okay? But we have 20 accounts here, account private key, and so it bears reiteration. Never use these with real crypto. Yours is just like mine, just like somebody across the world, okay? You send something to this, it's gone. Everybody has these private keys. So let's go back to the instructions. Big number 4, usage in development. Number 3, find account 0 on the node terminal. Maybe you're down here, pop up here, okay? Private key, I'm just going to click that a couple times. Do my copy short key, okay? And then what does it ask us to do? Paste the Hardhat account private key into your Web3 wallet by selecting the account area and then selecting add an account or hardware wallet. Let's see if we have that experience exactly. So right up in the dead center on Metamask, there's my account 8. It's not necessarily intuitive to know that that's where you'd go to add an account, but that's going to be the place where you choose what account you have. And at the bottom, sure enough, it lights right up, add account or hardware wallet. Now you'll see I have other Hardhat accounts, but I went ahead and deleted my Hardhat 0 so that I could add it with you. Again, they're always the same. And once we get you set up, you're going to have these test ether as well. See that? Every account comes with 10,000 test ether, if only it were real. Okay, so let's type that, or let's press that button together. And remember how we copied that private key? Import account. Okay, we're not adding a new Ethereum account. We're importing an existing account off of the local node that we've started. So I'm pasting that in there, clicking import. Okay, and your account may have a different name. Mine is called account 10 simply because in my wallet total I have accounts that go up to 9. Okay, so we're going to do a step right away. Let's see where it says here. The Hardhat node accounts and private keys will remain consistent, so it's best to name this account Hardhat 0. And boy, I'll say do that, please, because if I left that at account 10, there could come a day, many months, days, weeks from now, where I forget what that account is for and think that I might be able to store, for instance, an Ethereum in there, and that could be devastating. Okay, so let's go to that account. See the three dots? Find the equivalent in your Web3 wallet. I'm going to account details. See the little editing pencil up here? I'm going to click that and simply entitle it Hardhat 0. Okay, so it identifies it, and it very much ensures that I'll know that's a Hardhat account and never send real money. Big number 4 usage, local development deployment, step 5. It's time to deploy the contracts locally. And that's what we'll want to do, to be able to develop so easily, see the changes we've made, run tests, and just be able to move nimbly through the process. So let's copy that. And let's look at what we're copying. npx hardhat run scripts deploy.js network localhost. So let's go through that backwards. The network localhost is that node we started. Okay. Get a new terminal window, cd'd open to your project root. You're going to want that. And see back behind here is the node running. Deploy.js is in the folder scripts. So let's go look at that and see what we're about to cause to happen. Here's our deploy.js right in that scripts folder, see? So we are going to be deploying these contracts, TK1, TK2, that's our token pair, our first automated market maker, AMM, and then the second one, AMM2, different fee structures, and then finally our DEX aggregator, okay? And then none of this is much good without a little bit of liquidity to make markets and to have tokens to move around. So we're going to initialize liquidity pools, including to you as a deployer. You'll get 1 million of each token. Any transaction needs to be approved first. So we're just pre-approving the AMMs to spend tokens and then adding initial liquidity to them as well, okay? And then we save deployment addresses because that'll be part of our next step, okay? So let's go ahead and go back to our, well, first back to the README, then back to the terminal, okay? There's the node right here. We even go back and just copy that afresh, okay? And we're ready to deploy. It's worth taking a minute to talk about deploying because it's such a fun and major part of the process. Pushing enter. Wonderful. So right up here, you see several contracts got deployed from this account. So let's go through these things just quickly. First of all, we have deployed contracts with account. Let's look at the last couple numbers, 92266. So if we go up to Hardhat 0, 92266, okay? It's just great to see that corroboration. So from our deploying Hardhat account, which is again is going to be account 0, we deployed TK1 to this address, okay? TK2 to this address, AMM, AMM2, and finally our DEX aggregator deployed to this address. So I want to point out once again that these numbers are going to be the same on your end and mine. This is the benefit of a Hardhat node. It would allow, say, a team to be able to work together, and we all know what one another is looking at. Okay, so it plays into our next step because big number 4 usage, step number 6, pardon me, is to update deployment addresses in several documents. This is hugely important, okay, because we've got to wire up the neighborhood, so to speak, in our app. So you can see here that we have several places to update addresses. Okay, so let's go first to setup.js, which is in scripts, okay? So we're going to our text editor, and there's my setup.js, okay? And actually, we see all of our scripts here. Let's go to the ones that include the DEX aggregator, okay? And so we'll kind of work backwards. See here, we have the DEX aggregator address on the bottom. Let's go to our terminal and copy that address. Deploying DEX aggregator. Click a couple times, my copy short key. And I'm just going to go and highlight everything but the quotation marks. and push Control V. So throughout this process, make sure you don't lose a quotation mark that could result in time spent on errors, okay? Now, let's go and get that AMM2 address. Deploying AMM2, couple clicks, highlights it, copy. Little trick here, if I just come here and just click a couple times, look at that. It kind of knows what I want to do. It highlighted everything but the quotation marks, Control V, okay? And it doesn't hurt to just do an FC9, 6C9, FC9, 6C9. We just know we're on the right track. So what's next? You guessed it, the AMM address, okay? Now you will notice that in certain documents, it's called AMM1. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Let's copy that. Control V, 6EO. 6EO, that was successful. Okay, 2 more to go. We've got TK2, let's copy that. Paste it. 512. 512. Just a little check. Let's copy TK1, and this completes this one. AA3. AA3. Okay, wonderful. So let's save that. We have just done verify deployment. What I want to do, and follow me here by doing this, let's copy this whole block. Notice how I came all the way over to the left edge just to keep it clean. Copy and go up to setup check, where it's asking not only for the tokens and AMMs, but also the DEX aggregator. And I'm just highlighting that whole area again, right? And I'm going to paste. You'll see the change happen right now, okay? Okay, great. So let's go back down to verify deployments, okay? And you might have your own better way of doing this, but this does get the job done. And I'm just trying to be methodical. So now I'm just copying the top 4, okay? The token and the AMMs. Copy, okay? And I'm climbing up step by step. Here's the one with just 4. We're going to, that's setup.js. We're going to go ahead and paste that in there. Setup check, we already did, right? Remember, because it involved the DEX aggregator. Check balances, let's get these 4. Whoops. Yeah, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. There we go. Save it. And then finally, add liquidity. And the beauty is you can spend as much time as you want on this. The addresses are right here, and we can double check them right now. In fact, we'll just do a continuity check within these documents to look at AA3 512 6EO FC9. Move down one. AA3 512 6EO FC9. It's got the same ring to it, doesn't it? Setup check. AA3 512 6EO FC9, and then the DEX aggregator 6C9. AA3 512 6EO FC9, and then finally we can even just quickly see that that's what it is, okay? So it just all has the same ring. If you run into trouble, then you go back and look closer, but that's a good way to just double check that everything is set. And if you have a save all function or save all ability in your text editor, now's a good time to do that, or just make sure that you saved all of those contracts, contract addresses. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So SRC contracts, let's look for that. SRC, and then contracts, contract addresses, and lo and behold, okay, so we have updated these addresses in contractAddresses.js. Let's go back to our instructions. We've got one more. We need to go to source components and look at the swapcard.js. Let's take a look at that. SRC components. There we go. Open. Indeed, we see we need to put in the token addresses and the DEX aggregator address, okay? Just pull up our TK2, we'll copy that. and then finally down to the DEX aggregator address. Terrific. I'm going to save. And then heading back to our instructions, we have gone through all of these files and our addresses are up to date. Terrific. Big number 4, usage, local development deployment. Step number 7, import TK1 and TK2 tokens into your Web3 wallet by copying and pasting the contract addresses one at a time from the terminal. In Metamask, the path, we'll just look at that in a minute, and then we'll use these symbols, TK1 and TK2, and 18 for decimals. So that's just to read it out. Let's go and do this on our own. So we see here that we have deployed these tokens, but alas, where are they in our wallet, right? I can go, activity, and there, nowhere, right? Tokens seem like they'd be right there. Now, because we deployed a Hardhat node, we have this wonderful development ETH, and hopefully you see that registering there, either 10,000 or something very close, okay? Well, we need to import, just like the directions say, these tokens. So let's grab that. I'm going to move the node just out of our way here. But let's grab those addresses, okay? So at least in MetaMask, the path is tokens. In other words, you might be over on the activity tab or the NFTs. Go over to tokens and then import, okay? And then right in our terminal, here's my TK1 address. Copy that. Okay, and it's pulling the information right in off the blockchain. If it doesn't do that, it could be doing that on mine because I've done this a bunch. You're going to use the symbol TK1 and always 18 for the decimal places. Click next. And then look at, has my tokens ready from the very deployment that we did. Deployed token 1, 1 million. TK1 ready to come in. Type import or press import. I love that green, token imported, and we see it right there, ready to go. Okay, so we just do that again, push import. Let's get that TK2 address, copy that, paste it. And of course, are we dealing with private information here? Not at all, right? These are the contract addresses, not the private keys. So this is information that's available for anyone on this node, in this case a local Hardhat node, but if it was on Sepolia, say, this is very public information. Anyone could look up this contract. We pull it in here. Oh, 1 million again. I'd love to see that number. And the nice green alert there letting us know that TK1 and TK2 have been successfully imported. Okay, and with that we have completed step number 7, and just like our instructions indicate, now we need to get some additional liquidity to our AMMs. Big number 4 usage, step number 8, add liquidity. So while we did provide initial liquidity, we're going to now add liquidity to the AMMs so that we just have more options to create market dynamics with bigger trades, and just to beef up liquidity because we can. All right, let's copy that. And what are we looking at here? Run scripts addliquidity.js. You can go right to your file so you feel connected to this later when you're working on it, to remember that we just updated those addresses, and then it goes into the detail of approving and sending more liquidity. Okay, so we get back to README, get a terminal up here. So once again, the node is running, right? Because that's our network localhost. I'm just going to type clear, just kind of clean it up a little bit. I'm going to paste that in, run scripts, add liquidity. Of course, it's always good to have network localhost with the -- make sure that many an error comes from sending a command without that, okay? All right, and what do we have here? We have some good information coming back on the console that approval and then addition of liquidity happened for both AMM and AMM2, okay? So it added 2,000 coins, 2,000 of each token to each AMM, okay? So terrific, step 8 is complete. Big number 4, usage and development. Number 9, deploy the front end for development. Okay, so from a terminal open to your project root directory, see I have xdex and then the percentage sign, and I'll just point out again, I've got my node running right over here. Very important, okay? Let's type npm run start. And you can see that in my case, it's getting a browser open automatically. If that doesn't happen on your end, note the address here. You type in localhost 3000. I've got it there on the README. But it should pop open on a browser. And there is your copy of URDEX. Well done. If it doesn't open on its own, open a web browser to localhost 3000, okay?